Omaha's news leader, chronicling the stories and people making a difference in our community. This is KETV Newswatch 7's Chronicle.
Today on Chronicle.
Violence is a learned behavior, and because it was learned, we can unlearn it.
For years, local advocates have been working to reduce violent crime in Omaha, from redirecting at-risk youth to collaborating with police. And last year, their efforts were rewarded when Omaha hit a 20-year low for violent crime.
Today, what I went over was all our crime data, which shows a downward trend.
But of course, the fight to lower violent crime still isn't over. Today, you'll hear from people who've come face to face with violence in Omaha and are now using that experience to help champion peace. And good morning, I'm Rob McCartney. It's an issue that impacts cities big and small, violent crime. 12 years ago, the Omaha Empowerment Network decided the best way to tackle it was through community collaboration. So they put together a Violence Prevention and Justice Summit. And more than a decade later, that summit's grown and is now an important catalyst for changing the culture of Omaha. KETV Newswatch 7's James Wilcox reports.
In the 12 years since this summit started, Omaha has seen a significant reduction in violent crime. The city's police chief credits events like this for making that happen. He says the key to a safe community is a community conversation.
Be willing to be open.
Omaha Police Chief Todd Schmatter sits back and listens, having just finished his own presentation at the Empowerment Network's Violence and Prevention Summit.
Today, what I went over was all our crime data, which shows a downward trend.
Like the number of shootings in Omaha, down nearly 55% in the past decade, from 173 in 2009 to 78 last year. A decline the chief credits in part to the dialogue that happens at this summit.
Take that feedback and we analyze it and we implement it.
Last year, a public push for police body cameras. By the end of this year, Omaha officers will all be wearing them. After Saturday's summit, they could also be undergoing more training.
Today we had a lot of suggestions for training along the lines of mental health, cultural competency, bias-based training, all things that we do within the Omaha Police Department. But the community is asking us to even take a sharper look at it.
Hoping these crime trends continue, like the number of homicides, which last year hit a 20-year low.
James Wilcox reporting. While this year's summit is over, the Empowerment Network's efforts continue all year, and their program, Omaha 360, focuses on reducing gun and gang violence. And joining me now is Director of Omaha 360, Ricky Smith. Ricky, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So your logo actually is 360 degrees, right. You know, to explain what that is.
So we want to make sure that we are providing wraparound services for the whole community, and we want to make an impact and a change that's going to go full circle. So not just going from one side to the other side, but going all the way around so we can see some positive throughout the entire community.
And the mission is to end gun violence and gang violence. To do that, what's the first thing? Is there a first step you have to do?
Communication is key.
Okay.
You want to build partnerships with not just law enforcement, but within the community. You want to have organizations and agencies in place who are willing to do the work. It's also about having positive relationships with those who may have gone down the wrong path and being able to reach them and provide some outreach and resources to kind of change those things around for them.
What kind of organizations do you like to work with?
Everybody's welcome to the table. We like to start early, so if we can get intervention and prevention things into the minds and the hearts of kids, that's great. The police department does a great job in doing several community events. You'll see them do cops and bobbers or going to classrooms, reading to kids, getting to the classrooms at elementary schools and doing greetings in the morning. So it's a lot of different ways that you can kind of do that positive outreach before you have to have an interaction that may come across as kind of negative or rough for some of our students and families.
Absolutely. We saw the stats. I mean, that's a great trend to be having.
Absolutely.
You know, going down. What's the biggest challenge now?
It's not getting down or not being too harsh on ourselves when things may spike up a little bit. It took 10 to 12 years to get those numbers to get to that point. So sometimes things will go up, but it's all about having those resources in place to go and reach out to those families to help them kind of rebound. We've all been through some tragedies and tough situations, and you kind of just be mindful when you're working with those families. How can we have an impact? So if it's jobs, employment, training, what can we do to get those guns out of the hands of our youth and young people, and what can we do to provide some positive outlets for them?
Yeah, you mentioned spikes. I mean, I know there's a couple months that are worse than others. We see it every year. Like end of summer is always bad. Sometime in the fall is bad. What do you do? Do you do anything special at those times?
So what we are going to be doing this year, and we've done it for the past couple of years, we've always had Harmony Week. And so we really highlight and showcase, let's be a peaceful community, how we can work together. And so we're going to do things like Honk for Peace. We'll have a community engagement picnic. We have a men's day out where it's just the men and mentors. We do some fun things, basketball, and throw the football around with youth at the Omaha Home for Boys. And so it's just kind of staying active in the community and then celebrating those positive things that are going to be going on.
When y'all started, there was a quote. It was along the lines of, and this is almost a straight quote, strong neighborhoods will be the absolute key to reducing violence so they feel like they have a place in society. How do you get neighborhoods to buy in? I mean, a lot of people, we know it, I mean, they like to just stay hidden behind their walls.
Right, right. And so one of the things that we do is it's intentional community outreach. And so we have preemptive prayer walks where we'll go through the community and without even anything happening, we want to go and pray for a safe environment, safe area for our families to live and grow and for our kids to play. And so we go and knock on the doors of the neighbors there, and they'll come out and they'll say, okay, well, what are you guys going to be praying for? Well, we want to pray for peace in our community, peace on the streets, and hopefully, we want to engage them in other things later on down the line. So that's kind of how we do that preemptive stuff.
What kind of reaction do you get from them? Do they just close the door?
Sometimes it's surprising because you're not really expecting that knock on the door when you're preparing dinner or you're coming home from a hard day's work. Come out and let's talk about peace in the city and how we can be proactive in preventing some violence in our community.
So you're well received then in general?
Yeah, and the good thing is if you've been around the community for a long time and people are kind of familiar with you and the work that you do, it's more welcoming. And so I've been here in North Omaha, I'm born and raised here, so I get a pretty positive response.
Remember back in the day, there was the Enough is Enough campaign, and this kind of spun out of that, right?
We were before them, and they had a good initiative and good push, but it's just being able to be consistent and constantly offer those opportunities for people to be engaged. It kind of keeps the message in front of everybody.
Successful businesses, successful groups, they always reassess what they're doing to make sure they're doing the right thing. As a 360, do you reassess, see what, hey, maybe we need to do more here, this is our successes, or we should not do so much here?
Constantly. Even at the summit, we put together a quick questionnaire of what are some of the things that you guys would like to see more often, what are some of the prevention steps that we can take, and we had a nice range of people from the community, young people, high school students, and they were able to just do an immediate survey and say, we want more activities, we want more summer jobs, we want more summer youth programs. We want to focus more on getting guns off of the street, and so what it is we can do as a community to do some community policing to make sure that things get better.
And people want to get involved. If they want to get involved, how do they get involved? I know you have meetings every week.
Yep, so every Wednesday at 2 o'clock, we have a community collaborative meeting, and that's going to be, it's at the Omaha Home for Boys, and everybody's invited. At that meeting, the police department is there. They provide us with a report on some of the outbreaks that have happened in the neighborhoods of various precincts, and they let us know, you can call Crime Stoppers, be very active in just kind of watching your neighborhood and being willing to report those things that you think may be suspicious. And so every Wednesday, people are invited to come and share if they have different events or organizations that are planning different things in the community. We allow that space. And then also at the end of the meeting, we talk about what it is we did to have an impact on the community.
You focus on collaboration, prevention, intervention. You also identify something called recovery and reentry.
Yes.
What is that?
So those are our families and people who are returning citizens to the community. So if they had a rough patch and they are coming back from incarceration, what is it that we can do to provide those wraparound services to get them back on track? So if it's some career opportunities, some employment exposure, if it's building some skill sets so that they are employable, then we want to be able to do that. Also, it's equal housing kind of things, that issues that sometimes they run into. And so it's always being able to provide that wraparound for everybody. Even at the panel, we had someone who was a returning citizen who now has a youth organization, does some training, works really closely with Terrence Bud Crawford. And so those positive things are still able to happen if you just got the right wraparounds and supports.
All right. And Ricky Smith, thanks very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Best
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, coming up, we're going to turn to violence among Omaha's most susceptible. You're going to hear from an organization working to protect teenagers and young adults. You're watching KETV News Watch 7's Chronicle. Well, today on Chronicle, we're discussing violence prevention efforts in Omaha. An essential piece of keeping crime rates down is breaking the cycle of violence at an early age. One Omaha group is working to do that. It's called U-Turn, and it focuses specifically on creating lasting change for teenagers and young adults in Northeast Omaha. They provide young people with mentors, job placements, And last summer, the group hosted a community rally to help spread awareness about crime in the area.
The whole approach is just pushing the message, let's reinvigorate. We don't have to solve conflicts with violence, and that we can use alternative measures to solve conflict.
U-Turn also collaborates with trauma centers, neighborhoods, law enforcement, trying to make a positive impact. And U-Turn's violence prevention director is Stuart Giddings. You just saw him there briefly. Stuart, thanks for joining us. What makes up U-Turn? I mean, how is the organization formed?
Well, U-Turn came kind of on the backs of efforts that have been in the community for 30 plus years or more. And so there were organizations prior to us that were doing the work and carrying that torch. And for whatever reason, they're no longer present. And so the work still needs to be done. And we were just able enough to build another organization to carry that torch and move the work forward and hopefully look at things, in a different way than in the past. I'm looking at violence as a health condition and hopefully being able to understand that it's spread similar to how disease is spread, and it is a learned behavior.
Yeah, that's how you address it, right?
Correct.
As a disease?
Correct.
How so? I mean, can you explain that?
Well, if we think about disease, most disease contagions, they're spread from person to person. And when we think about violence, it's a learned behavior. If you see it in your home, whether it be domestic violence, youth violence, gang violence, the people you're around, oftentimes that's what you imitate. And so much like a contagion in a populated area, it's going to affect person to person from who's closer to you. And so the disease of violence, it kind of infects and does the same thing. And so a lot of it is because it's a learned behavior. The model we were able to adopt comes out of Chicago and was developed by Dr. Gary Slutkin, who is an epidemiologist who did the study of disease. And that's kind of where that model came from. And so we were able to adopt the model and then implement the strategy.
And you're seeing success?
I would say definitely we're seeing success. We get that question often. And so in terms of numbers, a lot of people like to see, 90%, 80%, 75%. But for us, it's one at a time. It's person to person. It's an everyday change and a daily progression of the mindset and the culture of violence. And so if we can get an individual from carrying a weapon every single day of their life to only 2 days to no longer feeling the need to carry it, those are successes we look at.
And I'm interested in the one at a time. I mean, your history. I mean, you're from New York.
Correct.
From the city. I mean, you came here basically to escape lifestyle back there. Mm-hmm. And you have people on the staff as well who come from, who've seen the inside, if you will, of violence on the streets. How important is that when you're doing that one-to-one?
Well, it comes from a place of lived experiences. And so when we talk credible messengers, that's what we call our outreach workers and our case managers, because when you have that lived experience, sometimes you can understand better where they're coming from, and you can then offer some of those real life opportunities to deal with those barriers, because either you yourself were able to do so, or you lived in a community where you were able to watch others that can overcome those barriers and jump over those hurdles and then become successful, even after making life-altering mistakes, whether it had, you had to be incarcerated or you were affected by violence traumatically. And I think understanding that majority of what we see, it all comes from a place of trauma. And so when we are able to look at, what's happened to individuals versus what's wrong with them, it allows us to look at the individual and not say you're a bad person, but there's just been some bad that has happened, and help you make better decisions.
You mentioned trauma. It's interesting because we reported on how you're impacted and you're affiliated with trauma centers.
Correct.
Basically, it's Dusk to Dawn. Mm-hmm. That program, explain that.
Dusk to Dawn was a partnership with UNMC, and it came out of wanting to, from the trauma center perspective, was wanting to be on the front end and not always on the back end of the violence. We know that obviously when things occur, the trauma center is sometimes the last place a person goes. And so the trauma centers felt that they wanted to begin an initiative that they can be on the front end of that. And so they partner with our organization to deliver, hopefully, a program to change and combat some of the mindset and the thinking and just the culture, overall culture of violence.
How do you do that? I mean, you're on the streets in the neighborhood.
Correct. So we have our outreach staff. We canvass the neighborhoods that we're in. We've identified a specific target area based on data and looking at where the majority, again, of violence and shootings and homicides are happening within the Omaha community. But because we're a small team, you have to focus on a specific area to begin, and so we were able to do that. And for us right now, within our target area, we are about 190 days without a homicide within the target area.
And that target area is like Lake to Reddick?
Correct, 24th to 42nd.
Right, and why pick that? Is it because the numbers specifically, and are you going to find another target area once you're successful there?
You know, I think for us, well, we picked that target area because that is where the largest majority of homicides and shootings had occurred. The data we looked at was back in 2016 when we were getting started, and so we looked almost 10 years back, but we used the most recent 3 years from that data, and that gave us our target area. And so we were then able to identify that and start there. And so the goal is that as an organization, of course, growth is something that we want because the need is everywhere. The society as a whole is violent. It doesn't only affect a particular area or particular target area. And so for us, we want to be able to infuse the change and the concept and the notions of changing the mindset, and we want to be able to do that everywhere.
And you have one thing, something called family mediation. What is that?
So our family mediations is simply what it says. Okay. When you think of mediation, you think of people coming together, coming to an agreement. And so sometimes it's not as traditional as what you would think the process of mediation is, but it's basically, I have a child that I really, you know, as a parent, sometimes I can't put that kid out. If I do, the state gets involved, right? And so, you have a kid that doesn't want to be home. And so for us, if we can intervene in some way and just see, well, what can we do to make you guys come to an agreement that will work within your home and that would keep the kid in the home. They're not running, you're not worried, they're not getting into, you know, any negative activity, and thus you're able to be successful as a family prior to getting involved with the state or, you know, other measures coming in and kind of now mandating how you operate in your home.
And how do people get involved if they want to help out?
Well, definitely. You can stop and see us down on 4344 North 34th Avenue. Okay. We were able to get a new facility there. You can go to our website, uturnomaha.org, and just spread the message of making a 180 against violence. And that's not only gang and gun violence, it's intimate person violence, it's domestic violence, it's sex trafficking. We don't think about other forms of violence. And so for us, we want to be able to touch all areas of violence.
All right, Stuart, thanks for and good luck too.
I appreciate it.
You bet.
Thanks.
Well, coming up, another program aimed at helping at-risk youth find a pathway to success. You're going to hear from leaders at the Latino Center of the Midlands when we come back. Welcome back to KETV News Watch 7's Chronicle, where we're discussing how to make our streets a little safer. And one way to do that is keep at-risk youth engaged in education. Pathways to Success is a program at the Latino Center of the Midlands. Two women in charge are Carmen Chagoya and Lupe Marquez. Thank you both for being here. Carmen, I'll start with you. Pathway to Success, it goes through the schools. You have a school-based component to your program. How's it work?
Yeah, so we work with 3 districts right now in our attendance piece of the program. So our program has 3 pieces. One is attendance, the other one is a cultural leadership program, and then the other one is parental engagement. So we work very close with the attendance teams, from the schools, where they nominate the students that have missed over 10 days of school. So that's a preventative program, because once here in Nebraska, if they get to the 20 days missed of school, then they get referred to the county attorney usually. Right. So then we work with them to re-engage them in school through monitoring their grades, their attendance, doing skill building activities every month that we call Lunch and Learn, so that way they can find a place where they identify themselves with, and so then they take some ownership in their work at school, right. And so that leads to them to come to school then.
And the leadership aspect, I mean, how do you do that? How do you encourage that?
Yeah, so we provide, there's 2 ways. One of them is through the Lunch and Learns, where we have more of that, whether it is employment or we teach them those skills, like building a resume or finding their strengths using like the Strengths Finder quiz. So another one is having our circles, which Ms. Lupe can talk about that.
Yeah, so we have talking circles is what we call it. Okay. So it's just a small number of youth that get together once a week. We get together to discuss various things. I like to tell my students, we talk about real stuff, essentially. So we discuss anything from healthy relationships to violence prevention to substance misuse. But the main focus is to help use their culture, whatever that is, to help identify themselves and who they are, and most importantly, to use their credibility to help them become that better person that they want to be at the end of the day or at the end of the course or whenever they want to apply that.
How do the circles work? I mean, you sit there and you talk. Is there any? Do you monitor it all as far as you're doing well, or I mean, how does it work?
Yeah, so we have a pre-assessment and a post-assessment that we give our students at the beginning and of course at the end of 16 sessions. And so that is how we're able to measure, do they do things differently? How do they think? And see if there's any difference between their actions and their thoughts. So we measure anything from attitudes about alcohol to risky behaviors that they have done in the last 30 days, to self-efficacy, self-control, school bonding, and family bonding. So those are some of the measures that we use, and typically that's where we see improvement or where we need to improve with our program.
And you guys also have goal setting. I mean, explain that to me. What kind of goals, or do you tell them what kind of goals to set, or do you let them decide?
Yes, so we help them. We set SMART goals. Okay. So once we meet with the families, usually we work with them, whatever barriers they have. So we work with them to break those barriers. So they may be, first of all, attendance, because most of them are nominated. So we don't say referred, because usually refer means something negative. Oh, sure. So our program is good for them, so then we say a nomination. So we work with them breaking down those barriers, whether it is attendance, academics, and a personal goal. That's how we work with them. And so through the year, we work with them monitoring their goals as well as their attendance when we meet with them at the schools.
Talk about attendance and referral. I mean, you guys, your program's catching on. And certainly the number of clients who use Pathways to Success, we have the numbers, went from 591 in 2017 and 18 to an estimated, 800, currently. Yeah. Why the increase?
Because we're expanding our programming. So this last semester we expanded to Ralston. The need is there. Right. So we know that many other programs as well as ours are servicing the community, but especially our program, I guess it's not necessarily that it's more special, but sure. We service families in their own language. A lot of the families that we service are Spanish speaking, and so we're expanding to schools where the need is there. So.
Lupe, I mean, you have one program that's for women and one for men. Yeah. Why? Why separate them?
So we realized we could have them mixed together, but we have discovered that if we focus, especially since we deal a lot with identity, so if they can find that thing that helps them identify themselves, specifically as a man or as a woman, it helps them quite a bit. And there are other topics that, while it does pertain to both genders, there are certain conversations that sway more towards men compared to more towards women. So we have tried combining them in the past, just like here and there, but they tend to be more open when they're just with their gender. Sure. Or with the sex they identify with.
Yeah, frees up the conversation. So if someone wants to get involved, how do they get involved?
Well, they can come to the Latino Center right in South Omaha. They can also visit our website, and they can fill out our volunteer application, and they can just come and join us at the center.
Lupe, what's your goal? What's the end goal here?
The end goal?
Because we talked about violence in the streets and reducing and hopefully getting kids on the right track.
Yeah, so I think it would be more, for me, my goal for my students that I work with is to realize that all of our actions have a consequence. Whether it's a good one or a bad one, but most importantly to think about how it's not just affecting them, but their family, their inner circle, and then overall their community. Because in the end, we want their credibility to help beyond that little aspect that they tend to just think about. So that's my goal.
It's a great goal, and you guys are doing wonderfully, and the numbers back it up. I mean, so you're expanding the services, and thank you very much both for being here, and good luck.
Thank you.
You bet. Remember, if you missed any part of the show, if you want to watch it again, we're putting it online at KETV.com. Go to our homepage, click on the menu button, and look for Chronicle.